Hello YouTube, this is Scapegoat User here, and I am welcoming you to the Stonking Great Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast Episode 2. Not only is this Episode 2, however, this is our Christmas special. And tonight, I am joined by some of my very close friends and one new guest who you all have probably seen on the Kalos Conference podcast. So tonight, allow me to introduce some of the co-hosts of the Stonking Great Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. Tonight we have with me our American friend, Not a Lot of Light.
Greetings, friends.
We have, from all the way up in Scotland, Emma Blue Eyes 10.
Hi, everybody.
We have, from Harlow, Darkness L 1989.
I love enthusiasm there, but hello.
And lastly, from Buckinghamshire, UK, Dark Magician 84.
George Biscuit.
Right, so tonight we are going to get on with these topics, and these topics are our Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanksgiving. How's our year been? And what are we looking forward to in the new year? These are two separate topics, but I just felt like saying them as one. And then we have the Zale Collection Tin review and overview of the duelist packs that come within and the tin itself. Is the side deck too small? Do we need more slots? And preparing for your first regional or local event, what to expect, what to bring, and how to prepare in general. And our last discussion before we sign off for the night is our podcasters discussion, with two new segments from Emma Blue Eyes 10 and Darkness L 1989, which would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Etiquette and Ruling Corner. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the podcast. And I'd like to open the floor by asking you how you've been getting ready for Christmas this year.
I haven't really started much, unfortunately. Get Christmas cards and send them out, and get presents from my family. But it should be all good. There's still time.
Yeah, I think there's still time to do your shopping and everything. How about you, Emma Blue Eyes?
I pretty much got most of my Christmas presents wrapped, all my Christmas cards done, all the Christmas decorations up, so I think I'm pretty much sorted.
Lucky bitch.
Well, I think it's safe to say my bank account, you always tell your Christmas shopping's nearly done when your bank account goes...
But that's my bank account normally, so I can't tell if my Christmas shopping's done.
Basically, it's a good sign to tell is when the car machine starts spitting the car back out, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. And how about our American friends?
Well, we've got the tree up. We have the lights around the porch. We have the Hello Kitty inflatable ready.
Oh, awesome. Hello Kitty inflatable.
Yeah, 3 feet tall, and she's dressed like an elf.
Awesome.
And we've got about 26 presents under the tree, 20 of which belong to the niece.
That's good.
Perfect.
That's good. Right, so we're going to start with our first topic, which is our Yu-Gi-Oh! Thanksgiving. Now, I think because I can, basically, I'm going to start this off with what I'm thankful for in this year that I have had with Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, for the first thing I'm thankful for, it definitely has to be the fact that we've got this podcast back up and running. I know this isn't the same as the KCP, nor is it in the same format, but we're all together again, and we're having a laugh, talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And doing general stuff, so I'm thankful for that, firstly. Secondly, I'm thankful for my girlfriend, who I actually met through playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Yes, go me. And the last thing I'm thankful for this year is having the opportunity to meet and know such a great group of friends that I have met through this game, and have the opportunity to play in different places with different people, and just being able to play my first regionals and in the Kempston and Aylesbury tournaments this year. So I'm going to open the floor to everyone else for what they are thankful for this year in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I guess for me, near enough the same thing, bar the girlfriend. Years, but that's beside. I'm Elemental Hero finally being made equal earlier year, as well as the legendary collection.
The new legendary collection is actually quite good.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, what are the rest of you thankful for?
I'm pretty, even though they started last year, I'm thankful that the Edinburgh tournaments have actually gone so well, because before they started, it would have been absolutely impossible for me to get back to the competitive side of Yu-Gi-Oh! In all honesty. So I'm very grateful that they have, like, Edinburgh's finally got a Yu-Gi-Oh base again, fan base again. I'm also quite grateful for this podcast to start up again, because it's been such a long time since we've all been together like this. And the other thing I'm quite happy for is the Hieroglyph Dragons, finally a deck idea that I really love, and I can't wait to test it once I've completed it. Because I've always wanted an Egyptian themed deck, but I could never build one proper until the Hieroglyph Dragons came out, so I think that's what I'm thankful for this year.
That's good, that's good. What about you, Dr. Sel?
Well, in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh matters, I think it's good that an army have finally recognised that there are just more than just 10 regionals for the actual national year. They actually made an effort to actually branch out to different various locations this time around for the 2012-2013 season. And the fact they passed out invites again is really good as well, because at one point they only given out invites to actually earn in the top spots, which I didn't like.
No, that was a bit stupid.
More of a chance that they can't just stack all the invites, which I like.
Yeah, that was a bit stupid. Sort of that ties in. I know this is our second supposed topic. Actually, wait, I'm forgetting someone. I'm sorry. What do you think, Notty? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I'm the new guy on the show, so you can forget about me.
No, you're not new. It's just that I'm sort of wrapped up in looking at the topics at the moment. I haven't.
It's alright. Well, alright. Thankful for this year. See, I'm thankful in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! For the Legendary Collection 3 because it has helped me severely bling out the Yami Yugi collection that I made. Let's see. That's really all I've actually had happen to me this year with Yu-Gi-Oh! The biggest thing I'm thankful for this year was that on August 14th, Tanya said yes to my request for marriage.
Right, so I guess now we can make the segue into our new segment, or our second segment rather, which is what we're looking forward to in the new year for Yu-Gi-Oh! I know we don't really know much about product-wise, but still, what are we thankful for within the new year? And what are we looking forward to in the new year, rather, with regards to Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I know I, for one, am looking forward to Cosmo Blazer coming out because that is stupid. I'm also very much looking forward to Volcasaurus coming out, which we will go into in a little bit more depth later on. And I'm also looking forward to my regional season because that's in the new year, and I really am looking forward to playing.
Yeah, I mean...
Sorry.
Go on, Richie, go on.
Okay. At the moment, I'm just looking forward to the Yugioh tin and the Mac finally coming out.
Yeah, I think on the topic of new cards coming out, like the Zeal tin itself, it's a good chance for products to actually get big cards to the masses as well, not just as high-end prize cards. And I think also what I'm looking forward to the most is actually the new support for the Holiday Beasts, like I mentioned in the last podcast. I'm really bigging them up right now, just saying. And also, there's one particular X-Seed I'm looking forward to is Zeal Weapon Lion Arms.
Oh, get
that
out.
Card is basically a new OTK with Wind Up Shark and Magician, and that's the reason why Magician should be limited to one, or if not banned. Just in Konami, have a word.
Yeah, just saying. I honestly think that Zeal Weapon Lion Arms OTK is a little bit busted.
Well, we were just discussing it like earlier on in the year, when it first came out. We were just like, wait, they can make this in wind-ups. Oh dear.
Yeah, very much.
Okay, really?
Yeah, because the combo is you do shenanigans, make a Utopia, make the Lion Arms, equip it, swing for 55, detach the Lion Arms, swing again. It's just like, well, that was fun.
Yeah, it's essentially you got to play the heavy spaces. You just got to have a clear board and hope for the love of God they don't have a gauze for 5500 token.
Well, that's alright though, because you've got Utopia and you just go negate, dark, hopefully draw the dark card from then on, so it's kind of...
It'll be alright.
Yeah.
It'd just be interesting to see what kind of stupid plays be made of this card, but I'll just say this now, it's probably going to be a secret.
Yeah, probably, unfortunately.
Knowing Konami, that probably case.
Yeah, it does suck, but what can you really do about it?
What's that?
Their weapon, Lion Arms, being a secret.
I actually haven't looked up anything about it yet.
Basically, it can make Utopia 5500 and then detach itself to attack twice, and it's a 3K level, rank 5 synchro, yeah, XEs.
Yeah, that'll be a secret.
Right, so I think that topic wasn't especially long, but it gives us a lot more time to discuss the new the 2013 Zale Collection tin, if everyone is done saying what they are looking forward to in the next year with Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, if I haven't missed anyone out. Anyone?
Yeah, the only thing I'm really looking forward to Yu-Gi-Oh! Wise is Cosmo Blazer, because the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist looks like a lot of fun.
They are a lot of fun. They're incredibly stupid, though, and they're probably going to be high rarity.
I can't really comment on that, except for I'm looking forward to taking on the Edinburgh tournaments next year. But TCG wise, I can't really say anything because I don't know, to be honest. I'd rather wait and see what happens.
That's fair enough.
But I'd rather see what happens because Konami, they'll throw us some interesting twists sometime next year with tins or a special edition, and they're getting us good stuff at the end of the year. Will they give us good stuff next year? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a good point. So now, with everyone done, we're going to segue nicely into our new topic, the 2013 Zale Collection tin. We're going to start with the overview of the tin. So, for those of you who don't know, it's basically Duelist Pack Yuma and Duelist Pack Kaito merged together in a tin. And apparently, just for buying the tin, you get 3 ultimate rare cards. So, by the looks of things, from my guesses anyway, I believe Volcasaurus will be a promo along with Photo Knight Palladius. I'm not 100% sure, because if they are, that would be silly. It would also be very good for the game, because those cards would then not be stupidly expensive. But there we go. Now, before we actually go into the sets and dissect this, what do you guys think of the tin overall, with coming with 3 ultimate rares as standard for buying the tin, and it's released on March the 8th next year?
Well, the fact that they made them ultimate is pretty interesting. Usually, anytime a tin just has promos like that, they're either ultra or secret.
Yeah, they normally are quite low level, low rarity cards. It would be interesting to see what they're going to do with them. What do you think, Darkness?
From the Zale tin itself, I think it's going to be a good product, because I always find that the first quarter tin always ends up selling really well. Need I say more about the Starlight Road tin, but there we go.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a good product. I mean, I wasn't too sure on this year's tin, in all honesty. It was a good variation. I like the idea of Shining reprinted, which is good for the game. But in terms of the actual cards itself, didn't think much of it. But I personally think that I would highly suggest pre-ordering this one, because I can see it being very scarce within the first 2 weeks of release, because you know what, some people are like ordering in the masses and obviously keeping hold of the product, but it'll easily be a £10 tin or £9 to £10 tin easy. Yeah. So, what do
you reckon, Emma?
Well, it's very interesting that they're in ultimate form, to say the least, because obviously we've just had supers and ultras, I believe.
Yeah, supers, ultras, and secrets.
Ultimates and secrets are pretty much the most expensive versions, aren't they?
Yeah, generally.
So it's almost like they're degrading the ultimate for something else. Because if you've noticed, the other rarity they introduced this year, which was the Ghost Gold rare,
and the Star, I believe they introduced Star Foil this year, or that might have been out of dual term. No, I don't know. I might be talking absolute shit.
I think Star Foils did first appear at the Epic Dawn packs.
That was brand new this year.
Yeah. So to me, it's almost like they're trying to make all rarities a little bit cheaper in one way or another, or just downgrading it. in a way, it just sounds like they're just trying to make the game cheaper.
Yeah,
By trying to downgrade the just by trying to downgrade the rarity, I suppose, and make everything available no matter what rarity it is. But
yeah, I can understand why they're trying to do that though, because honestly, this game is kind of expensive at the moment. So,
unfortunately,
yeah, as a product overall, it seems to be good. Whatever the promos are, I really highly hope it's Volcasaurus and Photo Knight Palladius, because those cards are going to be wanted. Now, I'll get into what Volcasaurus and Palladius do when we look at the Duelist packs, unless anyone else has anything to say about the tin as a product.
Well, like I said, I'm really looking forward to the fact that we're getting ultimate rares. Different, to say the least. Not sure what else to say, but I'm really looking forward to everything about this tin.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great deal about this tin. Now,
I think the other thing we should all say, I think, which everybody should really agree with, is that, you know, because the secrets haven't been, or the special cards haven't been announced for it yet, don't jump on the wagon boat when some article confirms or supposedly confirms what cards are available in that tin.
Yeah, because they could be anything.
You've still got a good 3-4 months basically for this tin to come out. So don't jump the bandwagon if like some super secret awesome card decides to be announced for this, because you have to wait till it's up on the official sites before you can say if it's going to be a good tin or not. So it's got potential, but at the moment we can't really say anything definite. I suppose.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I only trust Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki when it comes to this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki's edited by fans and that, so they kind of...
Well, let's not get onto Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki.
Sometimes the stuff on there is even incorrect.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about you guys, but one card I would love to see come out as an ultimate, just to piss off people, would be Card D as one of the ultimates.
Oh, hell yes!
Card D would look so sexy as an ultimate.
It would be so nice.
Yeah, it would be.
There's one I'd like to see them throw in there, just because I haven't seen any other ways to get an English prince, and that was Magi Magician Gal.
Yes, I'd like that to come out, because that
would actually be nice, because I think she's a cool card. I would like to have her in my collection.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would like to collect her. Plus, she's 2 level 6 spellcasters, which is quite interesting.
2 Dark Magician Girls.
2 Dark Magician Girls overlay into Dark Magician Girl with puberty.
Oh my god, you did not just say that.
Pretty much.
I did just say that. What of it? It's my podcast. I can do what I like. Now, excuse me, getting back into actually on something on topic, we are looking at number 61, Volcasaurus. It is in the Duelist pack number 15. They're quite small sets. I believe they're only 30 card sets, which is...
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, they're 30 card sets, so they're quite small. But number 61, Volcasaurus, is a rank 5 dinosaur effect, 25 attack, 1000 defense, with no special overlay conditions. Once per turn, you can detach one Xyz material to target one face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that target. If you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack, and this card cannot conduct a direct attack during the turn you activate this effect.
So this is kind of like that Firelord Pyrex?
Yeah, it's more broken than Pyrex.
Full damage, ouch.
Yeah, this is a bit more broken than Pyrex, purely because Wind-Ups can make it, Inzectors can make it, Chronomalies can make it, of all things. It's just a generic Pyrex, basically. And it's a fire, so it fuels Pyrex.
Well, that's the thing. It's a mini Pyrex, but just much more devastating if you can't afford Pyrex.
Yeah, the other thing I've noticed about this is you can say, for example, go, oh, what's that? Your Blackluster Soldier, overlay for Volcasaurus, nuke it, deal 3k, overlay for Gaia Dragoon, the Thunder Charger, swing for 26.
Ouch.
Seems legit. I mean, what I know you haven't said anything a lot, and I do keep bringing you up, Darkness L, because you are kind of being quiet. So, what do you think of Volcasaurus?
Is it Ring of Destruction? Enough said.
Yeah, pretty much. It is broken.
Yeah, only it's not as cheap as Ring of Destruction.
Well, it is, but it's a lot cheaper. Oh, I've got Dragonfly. Dragonfly, Ladybug, make level 5. Special Centipede, make level 5. Overlay this.
Well, like I said earlier, Volcanosaurus is basically another target for wind-ups. Oh look, shark, overlay, cool, we're done.
Yeah, shut up about wind-ups.
I saw. As if they need it. You can. Samurai can even use this thing.
Yes, but if you're really overlaying your Shein and Nat Beast, you're clearly doing something wrong.
Well, then again, there is double-edged sword technique.
Yeah, but double-edged sword technique can't bring back Shein, can it?
Yeah,
it's just any 2-6 samurai card.
Well.
We're screwed. We're screwed.
Ow.
Well, now I want one.
Right, out of all people in this call, who wants a Volcasaurus? Say I.
I'd like to get hold of at least 2. One for my Yuma deck, one for my Yuma deck collection.
Oh, for the love of God, just get one. Just get one and use it in your Yuma deck and it's part of the collection. Crying out loud. But shut up.
No, I understand where he's coming from because I have my fan-made Yugi deck, traditional format, and then I have the same cards as duplicates for the collection.
Yeah, I can understand where he's coming from. I'm just being a bellend because he collects cards and it's annoying. It's like, oh, I need 4 I need 4 Prismas. Why? You've got a ton already.
Of who?
Prisma. It's like, I swear on one of Dark Edition's wants list it said more Prismas.
Yeah, but it's common, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh dear.
Anyway, moving on from me being a little bitch, we're going to be talking about Radiant Photon Paradios. God, this card is stupid. It's
Can I just point out now, right, when this card comes out, Light Swans and Photons are going to be a bit nutty when it comes out.
So's Hero Beat.
Exactly. Hero Beat, you're laughing, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, it's a light warrior Xyz with 2,000 attack, so it's kind of mediocre attack points, but you look at its effect and then you go, oh. It's 2 level 4 light monsters, and once per turn you can detach both its XYZ materials to target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card, that target's attack points become 0, negate its effects. Remember, this is negate its effects permanently. And when this card on the field is destroyed by your owner's card, either by battle or card effect, yada yada, and sent to the grave, you get a +1. So essentially, it's the best part of Card Trooper combined with Effect Veiler.
You know what? I don't know if it's just me, but I'm kind of starting to see a trend with a lot of really good XYZs that are focusing on just negating effects.
Well,
it's
yeah.
Almost, I mean, we've got the hand traps that negate effects and let you draw.
Then we've got Breakthrough Skill coming out. We've got Breakthrough Skill. Yeah, I'm seeing the pattern because you have to, looking at it in a chain, you have Effect Veiler, Breakthrough Skill, Photon Knight, Paradios, Skill Drain. It's essentially just going to bone up your effects.
Yeah, pretty much.
And as we discussed in the last episode,
it's only a matter of time before we get an Xyz version of Hyper Librarian. It's only a matter of time.
Actually, there's already a spell card for the Constellas that does a Hyper Librarian style effect.
Yeah, it's a bit silly.
It is a little bit dumb.
Oh yeah, I think I know which card this is. Is it that continuous spell?
Yeah, it's Constellar Star Chart.
Which lets you draw if you special summon a Constellar monster.
No, it's if you Xyz a Constellar monster.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Right, Natu, what do you think of Radiant Photon Knight Paradios? Or as I like to call him, Squishy.
Squishy.
Actually, if you look at the photo for him, he is number 22 in the Kaite Duelist pack. He kind of looks a bit like a Gundam.
He does. He's a Gundam with a lightsaber version of Cloud's Buster Sword.
Oh God, be a massive nerd.
I could ask my boyfriend, Chris Anime Guy, what Gundam that might be based off of.
Whoa, we has Echo. Who summoned Ghost Napper? Right, we will be right back after Ghost Snapper has been killed. And I've killed Ghost Snapper, so where were we? I believe we were talking about Radiant Photon Knight Paradios being Gundam.
Yeah, as I said, I think I may have identified what it might look like. My boyfriend loves playing the original Generations Super Robot Wars.
Yes, he's a prick for having that game. I want it.
And it looks to me a little bit like the original character called Cybuster.
Cybuster.
So it looks like to me.
Yeah. Although to me it still just looks like a Gundam with a massive Buster Sword. But
actually,
sorry, carry on.
Sorry, I've just gone to the trivia just to have a look. It says this monster bears a resemblance to the Blue Strike Noir Gundam.
Okay.
Which I have no idea who that is.
Neither do I, but I believe Dark Cell has something to say about this card's summon.
Pretty much, this card is basically a Dark Panther mixed with a Black Rose, and the fact you get to draw a card from a card effect is kind of silly, and in before the whole Upper Photon style jokes kick in for this card.
Yes. Up.
Upper Photon style. You just see a remix of loads of robots going at it. There we go.
Oh, good grief.
Robots going at it? Luke, I didn't want to know what kind of porn you're starting watching.
Well, they got their wires crossed, okay? It's fine.
Right, so, who said that?
Oh, good grief.
Good one, Notu. For those of you who wish... For those of you who wish to know, Notu Lord of Light just posted in the chat, Opa condom style. Right, anyway.
It's for the win.
Yes. Anyway, on with these...
Sparkle, what can I say?
I'm trying to get back onto a sensible level of maturity. Onto the actual Duelist Pack. We're looking at Duelist Pack Yuma Tsukumo. So, really, the Duelist Pack doesn't offer much that we haven't already seen, bar Volcasaurus and Freezerdon, which we'll get into in a little bit. But the main thing I would like to note, Gagaga Magician as a rare.
Hells to the yeah.
Yeah, in the Duelist Pack Yuma, it is a rare. It is number 3 as a rare.
I want 17 of them.
I'm quite surprised at that because it's only ever been. Was it an ultimate or?
No, it's a super. You're thinking of Gagaga Girl, who's a secret.
Probably.
Yeah, Gagaga was a super in Generation Force.
Yeah, I think it was Generation Force.
Yeah, and then he was a common or star foil in the Battle Pack.
Yeah. Now, here's one card that I'm actually looking at with interest, which is number 11. Number 12. It is Dodo Warrior. It's a level 6 warrior who you can normal summon without tributing, which is always a bonus for level 6s. He has 2300 attack, and when he's normal summoned, his original attack heart goes down to 18 if you summon him without tributing. But the interesting part of his effect is if he attacks, card effects that activate in your opponent's grave are negated until the end of the damage step. So essentially he can run over, I believe he'd be able to punch over mandatory battle surges and things like Sangan. Also he would stop Necro Gardener, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That would stop my Whitestone of Legend.
Yeah, it would do. Actually, no, because it's till the end of the damage step, so it would stop Whitestone of Legend. It would stop quite a lot of things, and it would be it's quite interesting to see if this will actually see any play. I don't think it will, obviously, but the whole fact that it's got that kind of effect makes me think, well, will they put this on another level, on a level 4 that's actually air quotes playable, or is this going to remain a card that's got quite a cool effect but is only unusable because he's level 6?
I think someone somewhere will no doubt tech this in certain decks, and if it takes off, then the price of it might go up.
Well, it is
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted,
Not only that,
indeed.
normal summon on level 6, as you said, can be good for exceeding and synchroing.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're able to pull off many other moves besides just a normal summon, because if you remember, a lot of decks nowadays special summon a ton load of stuff. So
Yeah, that is true.
Being able to extra normal summon a level 6 when you've managed to like max out for level 6s with level boosts or whatever with other cards, then it's probably, as you said, it could just be a tech choice instead of a actual proper gameplay.
Although, to be fair, in a deck running like triple Call of the Haunted and ways to recur Dodo Warrior, it could be interesting. Just purely because you can go, well, I'll Call of the Haunted my Dodo Warrior, swing at your face down, say Sangan or whatever. Oh wait, you can't stop this. Rah. Now I'm not surprised to see Utopia reprinted again, because that thing is the king of all fucking reprints. Seriously, how many reprints has that had? I mean, like, it came out, then it got reprinted again in another starter deck, then it got a common, then it's got a Starfoil or whatever. It's got about 6 different reprints now.
And it's only been out for, what, a year, if you're lucky?
Yeah, about that. Now, we were talking about number, I think it was 60, Volcasaurus? 61. For some reason I was thinking 69, that just might be my mind.
Good grief.
Oh, for the love of frig. Oh no, it's still recording, don't worry. And I'll edit that out, don't worry. And we're going to be talking about number 19, Freezadon.
Oh yeah.
Now this card is actually quite interesting. Purely because of his effect. He's 2 level 5s and a water dinosaur with 2000 attack and 2500 defense. And once per turn, if you would activate the effect of an Xyz monster by detaching Xyz materials, you can detach 1 material from this card. So essentially you can have a Blade Armor Ninja that attacks 4 times, you can have an Excalibur that can... No, Excalibur wouldn't be able to do that. You can have an extra Utopia negates or extra Adreus pops, extra things with Tyrus. So it's kind of an interesting card, and I'd like to see how it will be utilised. The only problem I can... Yeah, Volcasaurus, that would be incredibly broken if you could manage to bring out both of those in one turn. Oh god, wind-ups. No, seriously, I've just had a thought. They can go into a rank 5 and a rank... Well, 2 rank 5s in a turn. Like, shark, boost, shark, dude plays.
Oh, you just gave everybody an idea. Well done.
Oh,
Well,
bog off.
it would probably be
Yeah, I can honestly see Freezadon. Actually, he might be run at 1 in a lot of decks, because even with things like Wind Up Arsenal Zenmail, or I'm thinking mainly rank 5s here, cards that have really good effects, like even extra Zenmaity searches, you can get quite a great deal of pluses off of it. Like, you could even pump your Leviathan again, so like you could have a Leviathan Dragon on the board and just pump it again, or extra defense with your Zen mains even. So it's a very interesting card.
Honestly, on the matter, all I can say is one XE that springs to mind for this card is Shockmaster.
One? Oh, dude. Actually, dude, another XCs that springs to mind for this card that we discussed in the last episode was Genome Heritage.
Oh no.
The thing is that you don't have to detach anything for that anyway, so it's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But all I can say is now is Zenmain's just got a new friend.
Yeah, so did Tempo, actually.
Wait, what's that?
Well, when you think about it, it's like a different version of Tempo. Instead of detaching materials to gain pluses, actually it's sort of like a...
It's a mini plus itself. Sorry, Nottu, what were you saying?
I'm trying to remember the name of that one XC that can, like Spark Dragon or something like that.
Oh,
like
Thunder Spark Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Thunder Spark Dragon or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's like... It's got the ability you can detach either 3 or 5, and then the last one's like a Raigeki.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's Thunder Spark Dragon you're thinking of. And that would be incredibly busted, because that, if you could go into that while you have Thunder Spark on the field, you could just go, oops, your board's dead. I'm sorry.
I've had another horrible thought about this card. What if people combo this with Gustav Cannon?
Oh, shut up.
Ooh. Ooh.
these are on the field. Wait, no, it's only once per turn. That's okay, but
If they're on the field, you could go detach from the golf club, detach from Freezerdon next turn. So
yeah, within the space of 4 turns, it'll be game over. The opponent can't get rid of Christoph.
What's worse is the fact being that you can initially use that effect to have 2 times a 4000k Excalibur.
no, because you can only. I believe it states you can only detach 1 Xyz material from this card.
Yeah, it says detach 1.
Oh no, I don't think you could because Excalibur states detach both. I've just
what
had.
I'm saying is the fact being of if you're using it to replace them with X detachment materials, detach 1 off Freezerdon, you get the effect.
Oh, I see.
And
yes,
then your
that.
own initial Excalibur's materials.
Yeah. I understand what you're getting on about, and that's quite stupid. Another
So
thing.
essentially, you can do 8k within 2 turns with 1 exceed.
2 Xyz.
Well, you know what I mean. With
Yeah.
1, you know.
Yeah. Another possibility I've just thought, actually, just looking through my extra deck, would be the fact that you could book things with Maestro quite a bit.
Yeah, and I hear having a more than twice effect Big Eye is quite good.
Oh,
Screw that.
I also hear having 4 attacks on your Blade Armor Ninja is pretty fun.
Yeah, and a potential 4k Leviathan Dragon, but there we go.
Yeah, that as well. Has everyone said what they'd like to say upon Freezerdon?
I think so.
Yeah.
Now, here's one card that I'm really not looking forward to for Gagaga decks, and that is a Gagaga Back, which is essentially their own Monster Reborn.
Oh, that card.
The only problem I can see with Gagaga Back is that they have to be destroyed by battle. I mean, it's a quick play spell. During the turn, the Gagaga monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave. Special summon as many monsters destroyed by battle this turn as possible in defense mode, and take 600 damage for each monster special summoned, and you can only activate 1 Gagaga Back per turn.
Okay, card.
I wouldn't.
Oh, artwork for it.
To be fair, I wouldn't run more than 1.
I don't think it. If you want me to be honest, I honestly don't think it'll see a lot of play, because if you think about it, a lot of way that duels go, just from my own experiences, you get your effect out, you flip the field as much as possible, or restrict the field as much as possible, and then pretty much attack with everything you've got. And most of the time, you don't have anything to stop those attacks.
Yeah, I sort of see it in a way. It's sort of like a themed scapegoat, because you have to have those monsters destroyed by battle. And in a format, if we didn't, in the ideal world, if we didn't have any of this newfangled card effect destruction, and we could actually get monsters reliably destroyed by battle again, then it would be awesome, because you could just be like, well, I'll pay 600 and I can have any level of Xyz next turn coming at your face. So it's pretty good. It just needs the right format and right deck to shine. In my opinion.
Oh,
Hang on, be right back. I'm on it.
well, there's no doubt that Gagaga control decks will use this.
Yeah, how many copies are? I can only see it being run at 1.
I'd probably use 2 just to have that extra copy in case you didn't get it the first time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Might be alright.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Gagaga Shield is kind of gimmicky.
A little gimmicky, but I mean, I see plenty. I've seen a few decks around me that could run it pretty well. Like a good Relinquish deck could make incredible use of it.
Oh shit, Relinquish is Spellcaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Have you
dear,
forgot
in
how
my
to play your
opinion.
own deck?
Oh, all I knew, I didn't actually. I haven't played Relinquish for so long. I forgot that it was a spellcaster. But this actually, now I'm thinking I might have to pick a couple of copies up of.
Yeah.
Not to go in any deck involving that little blue motherfucker. No.
Yeah, I have a feeling someone will run it in a certain Relinquish stall deck.
I do not run stall decks. unless it's
I
final
wasn't talking
countdown.
about your deck.
Good, because I don't stall unless I'm playing Graham or Lance, in which case you have no choice but to stall. You have to wake up.
I was talking about Lord Metu's relinquished deck.
Ah, yes, that is true.
But yeah, it's not just that though. I can see this being a new best trend for Dark Magician and Prophecies.
Yeah, I can see it being good in prophecies, actually. The only problem is it is destroyed by battle or by card effect. So essentially, you go, I'll dark hole your High Priestess. I'll go shield it. Now it's not being destroyed up to twice per turn, and I can save. I can use that for card effects, even though it can still be compulsed or deprisoned, though, which is kind of annoying. But in prophecies, you have the Prophecy Forbidden Lance for those anyway, so it's not really a big deal. It's more if something tries to run them over, say Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Well, also, like, you could always do the plays that people do with, like, Zen mains and have your Gaga shield ready and dark hole the field and your monster's fine.
Yeah, I can see that play happening.
Essentially, this is pretty much a watered down safe zone.
Yeah, essentially it is. Now, I think that's really all that can be said against the Duelist Pack Yuma, as it's really a lot of cards we've seen before. Moving on, unless anyone else has anything else to say about it, I would like to move on to Duelist Pack Kaito.
Yep.
Where we actually get some new Photon support in Photon Pirate, Photon Satellite, Photon Slayer, Curry Photon, and we also get the Galaxy Monsters as well, which are quite interesting. For example, the Galaxy Monsters are add-ons to Photons who are geared towards going into Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon and bringing out Galaxy Eyes. The deck's now more becoming about Galaxy Eyes than about Stun. Although from a competitive standpoint, I don't know how well they'll do. So I'm going to jump right into my favourite monster from the set, and that is Curry Photon.
Yes, Curry Photon.
Yeah, it's number 14 in Duelist Pack Kaito.
It's a cool little card. I already read it earlier because I just saw Curry and I'm like, oh good lord, we have a new Karibo. I have to see this.
Yeah.
And honestly, I like it.
I like it as well. I mean, you can pay 2,000 life points to take no damage, and then you can just discard a Photon to add it back to your hand. Yeah, sure, it's once per turn, and you're taking 2k, but in, like, I honestly see this being run at, like, maybe 1 or 2 in an Exodia deck.
Yeah, the thing is, the life point thing, I mean, Solemn Warning costs 2,000, and people run 2 of that in nearly every single deck out there. And to be honest, I think a lot of people are in the mindset that life points, as somebody mentioned in the last episode, life points don't matter as long as I have 1 left to take you down to 0.
Yeah, it's essentially the problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. The main decks I see using this are unfortunately stall decks / alternate win condition decks. I know myself for one.
Not much.
Yeah, Final Countdown, exactly. They don't really care about their life points. As long as they've got enough left, they have enough to pay for Final Countdown. I mean, realistically, they won't actually have enough to run 3 of this guy, but they probably still will run 3 of this guy just to draw into it. Exodia, I would definitely recommend running 3 of it. It's level 1 as well, so you can make plays with it.
Yeah, because it's level 1, could you technically use it with the Mystic Piper?
Yeah, you could use it with the Mystic Piper engine to get more +1s, and then they're having to worry about Swift Scarecrow, Curry Photon, Battle Fader, and then your back rows as well, and it really creates sort of a lock situation.
Yeah.
I think what I'm liking about... Sorry, go ahead, Emma.
Oh, sugar muffins, I've completely forgot what I was going to say. You go ahead, Nottu.
Sorry about that. I was going to say, what I'm liking so far about this Curry Photon is it's a level 1, it's a fiend, it's a light, and the effect reads as you take no damage, so no battle, no effect damage. I'm thinking, I know he's not here, but I just immediately thought of Kalo because of the Karibo deck.
Yeah, admittedly,
yeah.
when I saw this card, I thought of Kalo. Now, I know there is one actual member of this call who does actually really, really, really like Curry Photon. Isn't that right, Darkness L? Oh,
Yeah, I think the card's really cool. I mean,
it's a cool bit of design.
it's certainly got a unique design to it, and I personally think that this card actually could see a lot of side deck play.
Yeah, I actually come to think of it, it would be a good side deck against hyper aggressive decks like Chaos Dragons.
Mm.
I just hope it doesn't get rarity bumped, because even as a super, it would look fucking awesome. But it would be a shame if it did get rarity bumped. Now, the two cards from the Galaxy support that well, the three cards from Galaxy support that I would like to look at before discussing the fact that there is a certain reprint in this set would be, first of all, Galaxy Wizard. It's number 16, and it is a level 4 spellcaster with 0 attack and 18 defense. Once per turn, you can increase this card's level by 4 until the end phase. You contribute this face-up card to add one Galaxy card from your deck to hand except Galaxy Wizard.
Well, that definitely screams to me a potential to go into Neo Galaxy Eyes by adding Galaxy Eyes Dragon to your hand.
Not just that, it can also go into her Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis, because you can summon this boost to 8 and do a lot of plays. I mean, the good thing that I think about this is if I'm correct, this effect would resolve even if it gets effect veiled. If I'm correct, because it activates in the graveyard.
Well, since we're on the topic of Galaxy Eyes and everything, it's kind of making me think about another Galaxy Eyes Dragon card that's coming out in another set. This is probably something we could discuss further in the future. But according to rumour, there's a monster called Galaxy Eyes Space Time Dragon.
Oh, number 107. Yes, that's in Road to the Tachyon Galaxy.
I've actually got its possible effect up here at the moment. Once at the beginning of your battle phase, you can activate this effect by removing an XYZ material. All face-up effect monsters have their effects negated. Their attack and defense become original value. During the battle phase, you use this effect each time your opponent activates a card effect. The Galaxy Eyes gains 1,000 attack until the end of the battle phase, and it can attack twice.
Yeah, that card is a bit stupid, but we'll probably get onto that in a later episode.
Yeah, but even though we are going to discuss that in a future episode, Galaxy Wizard could probably be used quite well with that card, and you can also search it out probably.
Yeah, well, it's an Xyz, so you can't search it out.
No, sorry, never mind, forget what I said.
But it's the whole thing that you can summon Galaxy Wizard, boost, and probably be able to get into it is, I think, more what Emma was getting at. The next card of Galaxy support, there's only 3 really decent cards that I wish to go over. It's called Galaxy... Where is it? I need the English. Galaxy Knight. It's a level 8 warrior with 28 attack and 26 defense. If you control a face-up Photon or Galaxy monster, you can normal summon this card without tributing. Cool. When you do, target one Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, if possible, in your graveyard. Make this card lose 1,000 attack until the end phase, and if you do, special summon that target in defense position.
Whoa.
So basically,
I like this card. It's
you
awesome.
can special Photon Thrasher, special Galaxy Knight, bring back a Galaxy Eyes, overlay for a Heliopolis, use the Heliopolis' effect, detach the Galaxy Knight, pop your Photon Thrasher to pop one of their cards.
Or if you had say Galaxy Wizard already on the field and you made it level 8, you special summon the Galaxy Knight, you special summon your Galaxy Eyes, overlay into Neo Galaxy Eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
That's a bit stupid. I like that combo.
I like it as well. I'm getting myself a Neo Galaxy Eyes.
Yeah, same here.
One card that stands out to me in the Duelist Pack K2 is Feelings Towards the Future, number 26 in the pack. Normal spell card. Activate by selecting 3 monsters with different levels in the graveyard card. In your graveyard, especially on the 3 sets of monsters, the attack scores become 0 and the effects negated. After that, if you did not execute summon, you lose 4,000 life points during the end phase. Also, during the turn you use this card, You can not special summon except through Xyz summoning. Basically, this is a rekindling on crack. Right?
Yeah, it's an
Basically,
Xyz.
combine this with Galaxy, that card I mentioned last time, Galaxy Queen's Light. You can make an instant Neo Galaxy Eyes with no problems.
Yeah, another card that is actually drawing my attention is where is it? It's called Axel Light. It is number 27.
Right, have a look.
If you control no monster, special summon one level 4 or lower Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck. You cannot normal summon or set in the turn you activate this effect, and you can only activate one Axel Light per turn.
Okay, I can see it again, the Galaxy Wizard, then you can special summon your Knight, and then you can special summon your Galaxy Eyes.
Well, no, you can't. Knight is a normal summon, so you can't actually do that.
Is it? Oh,
yeah, Knight's a normal
right,
summon, which sucks, but there is a way actually to special summon Knight, which you've just allowed me to segue nicely into.
Family, then you love to play basketball. Playing
Okay.
get fit, shoot some hoops, and most of all,
We have a nice intermission here, courtesy of Notu, Lord of Light.
I'm sorry, freaking ads.
That's fine. This card is called Galaxy Zero, and it's an equip card, quite reminiscent of one broken one that we will all remember from our youth. It's target one Photon or Galaxy monster in the grave. Special summon that target in attack position and equip it with this card. It cannot activate effects and cannot attack. If the equipped monster will be destroyed during the battle phase, you can destroy this card instead. If this card leaves the field, the equipped monster's attack becomes 0, and you can only activate one Galaxy Zero per turn.
Cool.
So essentially, Axel Light bring out Wizard, Galaxy Wizard, bump it up, bring Galaxy Zero, bring out your Knight, and unfortunately it can't activate its effect, but then you've got a rank 8 Xyz right there. And let's not forget that the Galaxy monsters also have their own rotor as well.
It's just, I've just had a look at the trivia and it says it's a reusable, it's basically a new version of Premature Burial.
Yeah, exactly, it's preemie. It's preemie on crack.
Which card is the rotor for?
It's Galaxy Expedition. It's pretty simple. It's if you control a level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster, special summon one level. Well, it's not a rotor now. I look at it. You special summon one level 5 or higher Photon or Galaxy monster from your deck in defense mode. So essentially, you summon your Knight or your Wizard. You bring out your Galaxy Eyes.
Sweet.
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, we had a little incident with Nappa. Then I thought I was going to have to go and kill him again.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what is going on. Every time I try following the cards on the page, I keep getting stupid ads that won't shut up.
Yeah.
I get that as well.
Yeah, I've been sometimes getting that. Now,
So I plugged in my headphones.
has anybody noticed in Duelist Pack Kaito number 20?
20.
Oh yeah, Giga Brilliant.
Yeah. As a rare.
Is that butterfly thing?
No, that's Photon, blah 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 blah.
Period.
Yeah, that's Butterfree. Giga Brilliant is a rank 3 where you can detach and you bump everything you control by 300.
Alright, okay. It looks like a giant mantis.
Yeah, it does. I like the fact that Gold Rat's in this set as well, because Gold Rat's quite an interesting card.
Yeah, I was wondering when this would get a TCG release.
It's kind of hard to get 3 level 1s onto the field, but you essentially get a mini Graceful Charity if you can, so it's aimed, I think, personally, at Mystic Piper decks.
Guess so.
Detach 1, draw 1, shuffle 1, yeah, essentially it's a Graceful Charity.
Wow.
Now, does anyone else have anything to say about any of the cards that appear in when I get to that Kaito?
No, I think I've discussed everything possible.
Yeah.
Right then, that leads us into our third topic of the night, which is the side deck. Is it too small? Well, if it's your side dick and your name is a certain Mr. Leonard, then yes, you probably need to sort that out. But anyway, moving into the topic. I personally think for the current format, the side deck is really too small. Even increasing it by 1 card to 16 slots would make a lot of players' lives so much easier. Now, this is my opinion because basically you get more room, because 16 is easily divisible by 2, and I have found personally from my own experience that side decking 2 of a card seems to be the best. I never really side deck 3 of anything. So if they were just to increase it by one card, then I could include 2 of everything, and I wouldn't have to have the struggle of cutting one card. Now, I'm going to open this up to the floor to see what you guys think.
Well,
Okay.
I honestly think it, for some deck archetypes, such as Elemental Heroes and decks that have potential to do a lot of exceeding or syncering, depending on what you use in this format, it definitely is too small. However, coming from my side...
We're talking about the side deck, not the extra deck, Emma.
Aye, that's what I said.
Oh, okay, I see what you're getting at.
It's teching cards, you know, because it depends on what deck you're running and everything, because if some decks rely on certain tech cards working against other decks and everything, you know, it is a bit too small. I mean, as you said, even just increasing it by 1 or 2 cards, or making it available, or making it a nice round number where you can play 2 of every card, but at the same time, it's kind of forcing you to really narrow down what is it you really need, what do you really think is going to help out with the deck if you go up against a certain kind of deck and everything. For example, like, one thing I find really funny and ironic in this format is that Dark Worlds lose to each other no matter how much you try to side deck. You know, it depends. Apparently Dark Worlds lose against each other.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard.
Yeah, they apparently have terrible mirror matches.
Aye, because I've heard basically if Dark Worlds go up against each other, it's the first one to get their Dark Gates or Wrath or whatever on the field wins the match, basically. No matter how much you try to tech against it. But at the same time, the side deck is a personal tech choice. I mean, there's a lot of side decks that are probably going to be exactly the same with tech choices and all that, but there's always going to be that last 3 or 4 cards which are personal choices that could potentially tip the balance of a duel if it's played right.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from.
But at the same time, there will always be that 1 or 2 cards you want to fit in there, but you just can't find room.
Yeah, for me, I always like siding 2 Fossil Dynapachycephalos, and at the moment I'm actually having to try and find a way to cut one, and it's really getting on my proverbial tits. What is your personal opinion on this? Because I know me and you have discussed this quite at length.
Basically, the way for a perfect side deck is know what your worst matchups are, and then make sure you've got the right amount of balance of side deck cards for it. It's all about having a mixture of universal cards for all decks to side against, and a mixture of just meta calls. If you see going to an event early enough and see what everyone's running, it's a good judgment to make on what to take. For example, there's like Chaos Dragons, more Chaos Dragons than there are Machiners. You'll want to side deck Soul Takers, and the bottomless is more over the System Downs and the Sub Dragons.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, it comes down to personal preference, what you feel comfortable with, because there's no sense. It's like I've said to the amount of people, don't go. It's like, for example, if you saw that this deck won at YCS, you go and buy the cards for it. You don't feel comfortable playing it, you do badly at an event. Go with what you know, and you do well at an event with it. End of the day, you know, there's no dictation what you have to play and don't play. Just play with what you know, and that way you have an advantage because you know the ins and outs and the actual plays to make against. And it's all about timing. Timing is a crucial key in this game right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that the last bit you were talking about will segue into our next topic quite well, but unfortunately I don't think we're done with this one yet. I mean, I know you yourself, Dark Magician, you have some quite interesting side deck choices, and I'd like to hear your opinions on the side deck at the moment, because there is so much to side for.
Well, personally, I've never really been fussed about the size of the side deck. I think 15's fine, but a couple more spaces are okay. But yeah, for me, I've never really had many issues, because for me, I only side deck against decks which I know will just shut down the whole point of my deck. That's
fair enough, I suppose. That works for you.
Either that, or stop something OTKing me before I have a chance to do anything.
Yeah,
Dark
again.
Worlds,
Dark Worlds don't really OTK that much unless they draw them nuts, but I can understand what you mean. I'd be interested to hear your opinion on this, Nottu, though, because to my knowledge, you never really side deck.
Yeah, I've never really been a big fan of side decking. I mean, I've made a few designs on side decks for certain of my competitive decks if I ever actually, get to go to a tournament of any kind. But for the most part, I try to make my decks as balanced as possible to where they should be able to handle anything that comes at them.
Yeah.
Normally, when I do side deck, though, like my current build on my Elemental Heroes, they have been just redone into such a way where, like, I'll side in D-Fissure and Macrocosmos, because those cards won't really screw up my heroes any, but I know they're going to screw up anything I go up against.
Yeah, especially things like Chaos Dragons and Insectors, Dark Worlds, even the Water deck, which is especially fucking awful to be dealing with right now, because that deck is just stupid. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, can I just say one more thing about the side deck? I think, and then I think that I'll be done personally with this little segment. Is that as you all know, I have never run a side deck because I see it as a way, as a form of cheating, really, because I want to win with the 40 cards I've chosen. So in a way, I've kind of achieved ultimate balance with my deck in that I don't need to run a side deck and I don't need to worry about what decks I have to go up against, because in my mainstream deck I've pretty much got all I think I need to kick the other deck's butt if I can, basically. But I mean, I suppose that's me being a bit egotistical there, but that's just my honest opinion.
Well,
okay. I'm with you there on that, Emma.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I mean, I don't especially like side decking. The problem is because you have to feel out your deck and get to that point where alright, either this comes in against this goes out, and it just is too much fucking effort, if I'm honest.
Because obviously with a side deck choice, if you do make the one mistake and put in the wrong card, it's obviously going to cost you the game, but since I don't have that problem and I try to fit everything into the main deck as possible in just 40 cards, I might not be able to get everything I want in there, but if I can get most of it and the deck runs really well with it, then I'm just going to keep it going.
Exactly.
I wish I didn't have to rely on a side deck, but the problem is it seems necessary for my worst matchups.
Yeah, I think it's necessary for my worst matchups as well. I mean, I've actually taken so far as siding in cards such as Imperial Iron Wall, because I
love that card.
Yeah, I love that card as well because I am really weak to macro in my current 2 or 3 decks that I'm playing. Now, is everybody done with that topic? Because I think we've really discussed all we can.
Yeah.
Right, so that's actually given us a nice segue. Oh God, that word's popular with me tonight. Into our next and final topic for the evening. This is preparing for your first locals or regionals. What to expect, what to bring, and how to prepare yourself. Because honestly, I've had a lot of people ask me, "Oh, what do I do for my first locals or my first regionals? I don't know what to bring, what to bring, what to play." And honestly, my answer to it is go with the deck that you know. As Dark Cell was saying earlier, you don't want to go with something that you don't know just because it topped and then scrub out with it because you're not comfortable with the deck. I mean, last format, when everyone was playing Insectors and Windups, I played Heroes because I knew the deck. I was comfortable with it, and I knew the ins and outs, and it worked for me. The thing is, you have to take a format and just try and find something that you know you can play well. As for what to expect and bring, what you should expect at a locals is just a normal, fun atmosphere. I mean, I know not all locals have that because some locals have a high proportion of bell ends to others. But if your locals is a high bell end ratio, then you just ignore them because chances are they're busy jerking off their small penises at night, or shagging apple pies, whatever. The thing is, if you have a high bell end ratio local and you don't know about it until you get there, just try to have fun. I mean, I'm sure at every local there is always a group of people who just want to have fun and just want to just have a laugh, and that's what Yugioh is all about. With what to bring, generally you want to take a mat if you have one. Obviously you want a deck, If you have any binders, just with like odds and sods or whatever cards that you have that you think you can shift and potentially get trades out of. But one thing I would say before you go to your first locals, and this is especially for locals, learn the values of your cards and learn rulings. And this is more essential for your first regionals, as I found out earlier in the year. Now I'm going to open up the floor to the rest of my podcasters.
Well, it's actually kind of It's kind of interesting you're talking about this, because I was actually planning to do a video of tips for tournaments, like what to do when you actually get to your local tournaments and stuff, and how it can be applied to bigger. And also, there's some issues in regionals and stuff that have actually been coming up in my etiquette videos that I have been doing, which again is going to be another topic for later. But it's just like very basic things, such as taking a mat, making sure you use pen and paper for the whole thing, because on paper, as Darkness L mentioned in another episode, pen and paper can verify what's happened with the game. Calculators and mobile phones cannot.
If you're unsure of your maths, take both.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Take both. I mean, obviously a calculator will be handy if you get stuck on math issues, but paper is always going to verify how a move will go. And also, just as Scapegoat user said, take a deck that you are 100% comfortable with, and don't let anybody bully you or make you doubt that you're going to do badly or well with the deck that you built and everything, because the only big competition I've ever been to was a nationals qualifier, and I didn't do so well in that. There was 89 players there, and I came about 80th place or something. So I didn't do really good, but I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of duelists, and a lot of them told me that they were really happy and quite surprised. Surprised to see a Blood Dragon deck at this thing when Lightsworn and Blackwings and that sort of thing were big at the time. But as I said, I can't really say anything else about the big tournament, but also making just basic etiquette stuff, such as treating your opponent with respect and reading your cards, know your rulings, and basically following protocol and everything, I suppose you could call it as well.
My favourite pro tip, sorry to interrupt Emma, but my favourite pro tip for going to a locals or a regionals, 1, learn to use a shower, and 2, for the love of fucking Christ, if you stink and I offer you, or a player offers you deodorant, use it, because they're only offering it to you because you smell, you idiot. Sorry,
on that note, brush your teeth.
Yes, as well. I mean, I've gone to a couple of locals without brushing my teeth.
I've never had an incident like that happen to me, so
I've woke up late for many a local, got there and gone, oh, I haven't brushed my teeth. I feel dirty now.
And that's when you need to have some chewing gum.
Yeah, I do, inevitably.
So, hand sanitizer is also very handy. I started using this myself 3 years ago because I saw a couple of videos where DKF were discussing a similar thing. And,
pro tips for BKs, I think that was.
Yeah, and Asian Persuasion 2008 and WK Dad 1 did have good points about hand sanitizer.
You do need the hand jizz. You need that hand jizz because people...
And scrap lube.
Yes, you need scrap lube. With Raging Earth on Myers Whitehole. Sorry, a joke. Yes, I did have to go there. Now, I'm actually one person here who hasn't said anything, who I keep roping into the conversations, is Darkness L. So please, speak up. Let us hear your words of wisdom.
Pen and paper, deck list done the night before the event, don't rush it. And then basically mat, deck box, don't put any extra cards that you don't need in the deck box because you will get done for it at the event because the tournament organisers don't like that. And stay hydrated. It's important to drink plenty, otherwise you'll lose your concentration focus.
Yeah, I hear that.
That's a good point about preparing for the night.
So essentially, what happens at regionals is a bit different from locals. Essentially, you want to go. Some people don't want. Basically, you shouldn't have any cards in your deck box, bar maybe tokens or whatever. Basically, all you have on the table is pen and paper, your mat, your deck,
your penis,
side deck, your extra deck, your tokens,
your penis.
Well, that would be on the table, but that's not the point.
Coins and dice, if you have them, that's always a good thing to
yes,
have.
for the love of God, if you're using...
If it was an exceptionally low table, I can understand. But obviously...
Oh my god, I just got an image in my head!
We interrupt this podcast to bring you laughter, courtesy of Luke Leonard's penis.
What penis?
Right, anyway, moving swiftly
Let's get back
on.
on topic, guys. Oh my god.
Yeah, moving swiftly on, and this is not being cut, by the way. Moving swiftly on. If you are going to even locals, take coin, dice, please. I don't know how many times someone's come up to me and, oh, can I borrow your dice because I don't have one. Well, you should. And I don't want to sound like an arse by telling a kid he should have his dice, but he's been going to the locals now for over a year. He should know that he needs the bloody dice to decide who goes first.
Because obviously you can do hand, paper, scissors, but others might be more favourable with a coin toss. So, I said that right, yes. Coin toss or a dice roll, basically.
Okay. Right, so I think really that's all there is really to say about this. I think we'll go more in depth into it in another episode. So, I think, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I think it's time for podcasters discussion.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, so first topic in podcasters discussion, I think we've basically gone over this, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Etiquette. I know Emma wanted to do a segment on this, but I think we've actually mostly covered this in what to do at a regionals, but I would just like to retread ground. If you're going to a regionals, first thing you are going to want to be courteous, because you don't want to be that guy who gets threatened or beaten up outside the event. You're going to want to, well, smell nice, because you don't want to be that kid everyone avoids for the reason of he has bad BO. Other things, just don't be a dick. Unless you're being a rule shark, even then try and be nice, because people do not like idiots. People don't like arseholes. So I'm going to open up the floor to the guys, but it's if there is anything else you would like to add. But before I do, also, if you do see a female YouTuber, don't be sexist, because chances are they will hit you. And you can't do anything if you're punched in the face by a woman, because then you get arrested.
Yes, and some of the ones that will hit you, they've got a mean swing.
Yes, they do. Especially if they're Glaswegian.
I'm not Glaswegian, I'm an Eddie. I'm from Edinburgh.
I know. I wasn't talking about you. I was just generalising. Anyway,
One thing
floor is
I
open.
will say about matches is please pay attention to what's going on, because for me it's really quite annoying when I'm making moves and the opponent's not paying attention. One time when I was using my Neo Speed Down deck, I had to say I would try and use Christmas effect 3 times.
Yeah, that is annoying.
Come on now.
You're here to you're at an event to play Yu-Gi-Oh! You're not an event to have a social gathering. I mean, that is part of the aspect of it, but you come to the event mainly to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, don't you?
And also, another common problem I have is certain people trying to get my attention or the opponent's attention when we're trying to concentrate on a tournament / record the stool.
Yes, that is
That
quite...
is highly annoying.
And time again, and yet it keeps happening. Again,
Yeah.
come on now.
Have a word.
Basically, all we can say about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Etiquette in general is that basic things such as respecting the fact that there's a duel going on, you don't want to interrupt because it can end up as a game loss for somebody if their attention is shattered. Being courteous and respectful towards the opponent and not being courteous, and respectful towards the opponent, no matter what their affliction is towards you. Because at the end of the day, as I keep saying in a lot of my etiquette videos, you'll be the one who's been respectful and will not get into trouble at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever have problems, just go and tell the judge immediately, because obviously if that opponent or persons are trying to ruin your day, good chances are they're going to try and ruin the rest of the event for other people, and nobody likes that. It's not fair on yourself, and it's not fair on anybody else that your day should be ruined because one person got ticked off because he got beat by a girl, or he made a game loss because of a simple mistake, or he's just generally being a total a-hole, to say the least.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the sooner you address a problem, the sooner it gets fixed. It's as simple as that. So
Plus,
keeping that basic sort of thing in the game, it makes the game more fun. You know, it's nobody. I don't think anybody likes going up against somebody who is, you know, just there to be an a-hole and just to try and win the big prize, because they don't have a true sight of the game. That's just my personal opinion, but you know, people who just go to be a-holes and just win as much as possible to be an a-hole, you know, they've lost the true sight of the game, which is to have fun. That's what games are all the time. They're just fun.
I mean, I think a lot of this is purely perspective based. I mean, because you can say, oh, well, it's just to have fun. Oh, but it's competitive side. I mean, I think most of this is purely conjecture and perspective based. I do happen to agree, however, with Emma, that you come to have fun. And at the end of the day, if you're not having fun, why are you playing? Yeah, okay, because you can get a big prize, that's fine. That, for some people, is a sense of achievement, whatever. Don't care, just don't ram it down my throat. As long as you're having fun, in my book, you can't do anything wrong. And with
that better myself.
Yeah, and with that, I'd like to segue in, because I'm getting a little conscious of the time, into our last section for tonight. Unfortunately, guys, this is Running Corner with Darkness L 1989. Go.
Right, basically, in tonight's segment, as it were, I feel like I'm saying it on the spot now. Basically, it's giving you a comparison of what's negating activation and negating effects, right? Say, for example, you've got Luminous Lightsworn Summoner. Its effect states you can discard one card from your hand, especially with Lightsworn from the graveyard, yeah? Milling aspect would disregard for that time being. Say, for example, you've got Skill Drain and Herald of Orange Light, right? Skill Drain states, while this card is placed on the field, negate the effects of monsters on the field. Herald of Orange Light states, when the monster effect activates, negate the activation of the effect and destroy the monster. Now, the difference between these cards is that you can still pay the cost of Lumina under Skill Drain, so essentially you can discard a Necro Gardener, a Wolf, a Plague, play around it, do whatever. Whereas Herald of Orange Light just stops it completely. It says negate the activation. So essentially it's just saying full stop, no effect. Like Doom Caliber Knight. I'm not going to go into discussion about the whole Genex Undying discard dumping ruling, because I'm still in anger about that. But that'll be for another episode.
Yeah,
I think basically comparing, it's how the card is worded. It's, for example, negate the activation, or just negate an effect. Like an effect veiler says, negate the effect for the turn, not negate the activation.
Yeah, so
always be wary of what the card states and the wording of it. For example, missing the timing on like a mandatory effect and a non-mandatory effect. For example, if you was to say tribute a Reborn Tengu for a Kaius of any monarch, it's a mandatory effect. When this card leaves the field, special summon something, it actually just states just do the effect. Whereas a Dupe Frog is an optional effect, and it misses timing. It says when this card says out, you can. But the fact being, the monster effect needs to go off first, because when it's summoned, do this, right? So essentially, it's knowing what can miss timing and what doesn't. So always be wary of what negates and what negates activations, and what is actually missing timing and what's mandatory and has to go off first.
I couldn't have really put that better myself. Now, I don't believe if that is everything everyone has to say.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Right, then, from the Stonking Great Yugioh podcast, this is Scapegoat User, here with Not Too Lord of Light.
Woot!
Dark Magician 84.
RP Pop.
Darkness L 1989.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And Emma Blue Eyes 10.
Good night, everybody.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and in fact we will be back in the new year. Hope to see you soon. Remember, I hope you've learned something, and I hope you've had fun. So from all the members of the Stonking Great Yugioh podcast,
good night, everybody.
Have a good time.
enjoy your Christmas.
Don't get too drunk.
Good night, and we'll see you later.
Bye.